Welcome to another episode of Star Wars Talk. I'm John Barry, and today I'm reviewing Star Wars: A New Dawn by John Jackson Miller. So this review is unscripted. I just wanted to let you know that before we get too much farther into it. So now that I got that one quick disclaimer out of the way, I do want to say I apologize for being very light on non-Star Wars gaming content for the past couple of weeks. I've been extremely busy with schoolwork. I was finishing up my Harry Potter reviews, which I still got 2 books left to go through that I'm planning on reading and reviewing. So expect those in the next couple of weeks. Schoolwork is busy for me, and I am giving that more priority. But now that I got that out of the way, let's actually get into this review. And I enjoyed this book. I listened to it as an audiobook, which is how it's really, to be honest, helping me get through multiple books quickly, because I can read one book physically, and then I can be listening to another audiobook, and that helps me get through multiple books quicker. That way I can get my reviews out. Of course, I have to wait for the audiobook to finish, and I listen to it while I'm driving, so there is a time factor there that can sometimes take longer than a regular book, but sometimes take quicker. But regardless, there's something different about viewing it, not viewing, but experiencing the story as an audiobook than actually as a physical book. Now, A New Dawn was one of the earliest books in the new canon. I want to say canon because he's a character in New Dawn, but it's canon is what I'm talking about. It was one of the earlier books. I believe it came out, it was either before or after the first season of Star Wars Rebels. Regardless, it's a very enjoyable book. It tells the story of how Kanan and Hera met each other. It has Sloane in there. She was one of the major Imperials in the Aftermath trilogy. She's in here as a young, I would say recently promoted to the rank of captain. And for familiar characters, that's actually about it. But no, the Emperor's name is dropped a few times in here. Understandable. And yeah, that's actually pretty much it for characters. Pretty much only these 3 characters that are in other works. Now, I don't remember. Sorry, I was thinking real quick. Yeah, I don't remember if the Aftermath trilogy or this book came out first, but regardless, to have characters that we know from one media, one material and another material is a very nice thing. It really helps connect to the world building and to do it in a realistic way. This is a realistic way, I found. They could have shoved on, I don't know, Thrawn in here, and that would not have worked. How they put him in Rebels worked. No, he came in, he's this Grand Admiral, and then we get a book telling him. But when this book came out, it would not have worked, and to have Thrawn appear in a book where he's not the main character as something other than a Grand Admiral, that probably would not work. Telling the story how he got to Grand Admiral makes sense, but if we just introduced him in this book as, I don't know, a captain, it would have failed. Because Star Wars Rebels, he's Grand Admiral Thrawn, then we get Thrawn. Sure, he's not the Grand Admiral right away, but he gets there. So using a character we know of is a good way to help connect the universe, but not using a character that would not fit in the story. And there's some other neat things too. And I just found it kind of ironic that essentially the rebels end up helping the Empire. Okay, that is just kind of interesting to say the least. But hey, in a way, kind of every now and then try to get the evil Empire to behave a little better while you wait for the right time to start rebelling. I guess that could truly work. I don't know. My own experience with rebellions of Star Wars and history. Hey, my country, the United States of America, essentially rebelled to become independent. and fought a couple rebellions itself. So, but other than that, really what I gotta say, this book did a good job of showcasing the early Rebel movement. Not the early we saw in Rebels, but like the early Rebel movement in Star Wars against the Empire. And just a bunch of other small little things here and there. Kind of canon thoughts about his time as a Jedi. Oh, connection to there, we get Obi-Wan's name dropped a few times. I forget about that. And a bunch of other things. I also liked how near the end, Kanan had his lightsaber on him but hidden in a rifle scope case, and he considered at one point to take it out, but something told him now is not the time. And you know when the time was? In Star Wars Rebels. And that's something I could pick up on because I've watched Star Wars Rebels. As somebody who never had picked up Star Wars Rebels, they will still enjoy this and get it, but some of the foreshadowing of what will happen in the television series, they won't pick up on that. This is one foreshadowing I was able to pick up on. And there's small other things here and there, kind of foreshadowing to things in Star Wars Rebels as well that you would pick up on, some you wouldn't. And of course, New Planet and I haven't yet to talk about the big bad, Vidian. He's an interesting thing. Like Vader, he's more machine than man, but unlike Vader, there's no redemption story. There's no sympathy to him, really. I would say he's evil for the sake of evil, no, but he's not he has a little bit of a sympathetic character arc, like how he was trying to do the right thing initially, help with safety procedures and all that, but got sick from it and lost his ability. But when he rebuilt himself, quite literally I might add, you lose all sympathy for him at that point. Sure, you got some, but it was his choice to rebuild himself into Vidian, the character that we see as a big bad guy. It was his choice. It was not forced on him like Vader. Vader was manipulated and tricked. Vidian embraced it. He wanted to become more machine than man. He wanted to take power for himself. Wanted to make money. Wanted to improve his own status by kicking others under the bus. You feel sympathy for him when you learn about how he became like this, but you lose it just as quickly when you realize that he has no redeeming characteristics, at all that he exhibits, and we see that here and there as well in the book. Characters, the one Scully, he literally wants the best out of Vidian, hoping for the best, and then he realizes Vidian is not a good guy and does not really care. A very compelling story. And there's so much more in here, but I think I'm going to leave my review at this. I encourage you, if you want to understand this book better, if you want to experience this wonderful story for yourself, I encourage you to please go out and read it. You don't have to buy it. I'm pretty sure Lucasfilm would prefer you buying it because it gives them money, but I myself am a big fan of libraries, so you can always go check it out from the public library. Hey, I'm a big supporter of libraries, and libraries are an excellent place for books. That's what they're for books. And research too, if you're in college like me. But books are bound in libraries, and I'm a big fan of libraries. I work at a library too, so. But I've rambled on about that a little too much, but yeah, I encourage you to read this book if you have not yet done so already. And if you read it as a novel, read it as, not read it I should say, but listen to the audiobook version. And if you've already listened to the audiobook version, why not read the novel? It'd be a different way to experience it, and it could be very impactful on you. Because there's some things that the book can do that the audiobook can't do. The book kind of allows your imagination to be a little more fluid, but the the audiobook has you get voices, you get music. It gives you a very different experience. It has the more freedom of imagination like the book does. So it's in that way a little better than a straight film, because you still get bits of imagination out there. But yeah, just read and experience the story if you have not yet done so already. So thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. Did I say subscribe? I meant subscribe to this channel for future Star Wars related content and more. Also, if you actually want to receive notifications by YouTube of when my content comes out, please ring the bell so you can get notified. And also comment down below if you have already read this book. What was your favorite part of the story? And if you haven't, have I convinced you to actually read this book? So that's it I have for you today. So as I said, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you always.